Are back to winning ways after a 2-0 victory versus Aston Villa. An Aston Villa side that beat Tottenham away and Manchester City in very good form. And I think going into this week, a lot of Liverpool fans were worried. Real Madrid is obviously coming up, and Liverpool needed a win big time, especially after that 3-0 defeat to Palace in midweek. And this wasn't just a win from Liverpool, but this was a response. This was a performance from Liverpool, because many Liverpool fans have been saying it's not just the results, but even when they were winning, the performances were not convincing. These last-minute winners were saving them. And those last-minute winners, when it comes down to the end of the season, because of the points you've dropped in recent games, those last-minute winners could be vital if you do get back in the title race, and could be a difference between top four or not, depending on how your season goes. But if Liverpool play like they did today throughout the rest of the season, they could very much challenge again. Now, 4 straight losses in the league, mentality probably been quite weak. Liverpool needed its big players to step up today. Liverpool needed its leaders to step up today. And one player that stepped up today was Mo Salah. And I feel like everyone else followed Salah in stepping up. We're going to talk about Szoboszlai, how excellent he was in a second. But look, Villa, they've come in good form. Liverpool 4 losses in a row. Not just Salah stepping up, not just Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. Robertson was good, but I thought Anfield was fantastic today. I thought Anfield was like the 12th man today. And Liverpool today, I think one of the reasons they were better is because they looked like a team today. Slot went back to more of a 4-3-3. McAllister looked much better, much more aggressive. McAllister, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch looked a little bit like we saw last season, that midfield 3. There was aggression there. Liverpool were pressing. Liverpool were winning the second balls. They had not been winning the second balls in the last couple of games, and Liverpool looked so much better for it. So it wasn't just a big 2-0 win. It was a win versus a good Villa side. It was a convincing win, and it's a win that's probably needed for Liverpool's confidence going into the Liverpool game, then the Manchester City game, which is the tellers. If they go lose those next 2 games, pressure's back on. But if Liverpool win those next 2 games and they get 3 wins in a row, all of a sudden, there could be a turn in Liverpool season.
Liverpool Football Club have bounced back, and I'll be the first person to put my hands up in the air and say I got that prediction wrong. I did predict an Aston Villa draw. I did also predict an Aston Villa win. I did not think Liverpool would be that good today. Some fans are coming out there saying Liverpool were lucky. I don't understand. Liverpool in recent weeks have been poor, but when they put in a good performance, 54% possession, 16 shots, 3 big chances created, 1.09 XG compared to 0.31 XG from Aston Villa. Yes, they scored a deflected goal. Yes, their keeper made a mistake, or the centre-back made a mistake and Salah pounced on it. But you still have to get into that position and apply pressure for the opposition to then go and make the mistake. I'm looking at a Liverpool team right now that had to win. If they would have lost or drawn, which what my prediction was, then I personally believe the Premier League title race is over. Now, Liverpool have got 2 massive, massive games coming up in the next 7 days. In the next 7 days, they play Real Madrid, who won 4-0 tonight against Valencia, Kylian Mbappe and Jude Bellingham on the score sheet. And then they also play Manchester City, the last game before the international break. And bearing in mind, that weekend, while Liverpool play City, Arsenal play Sunderland on the Saturday. So both Liverpool and City will already know the outcome of the Arsenal game before they play. But they had to win tonight. I thought Szoboszlai was ridiculous. I thought Ekitike was a joke. He should be the starting striker for Liverpool.
We're back again, but this time without a loss. I miss Liverpool losing. It was fun. It was enjoyable. 6-7. Oh, man. Aston Villa, you had one job. You had one job, Aston Villa. Oh. Why? Why are you doing this, man? Saturday night, prime time. I was ready. I know we drew our game, but it's not a loss. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We move. You know what I mean? Unbeaten the last, 4 games. Hold that. But, yeah, man. This is the problem, right? Now that I'm predicting Liverpool losses, I need to let me just, I need to change up my tactics. I need to predict Liverpool wins, hoping for a Liverpool loss. Because this time I got too excited. I got a bit too giddy. I got a bit too, I don't know, man. I just got a bit too excited, man. And I went for a 2-1 Aston Villa win. But I shouldn't have done that, man. Should have reversed psychology. And, we're here today. And this was one of a few. I was on a roll. But Liverpool decided to turn up today. And you know what, man? Deserved the win. I'm not going to lie to you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come in there and say lucky. Does it mean that Liverpool are back? I'll let you lot decide. I'll let you lot maybe who was slot out, slot in. You know what I mean? Slot till we go. Stop. You know what I mean? That's up to you. But this was a much needed win. And all of a sudden, they'll pull a third.
My gosh. Unai Emery, you are the most untrustworthy person I've ever met in my life. All you needed to do was keep up your win streak. You'd been doing so well. You beat Manchester City and then you turn around and do what you did today. Emi Martinez, you will perish. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. Very frustrating hate watch that was. It was not much of a hate watch, I'll be honest, because Emi Martinez, and Unai freaking Emery. Every single situation in which Liverpool got a leg up in that game came from diabolical playing out of the back from Aston Villa. What are you doing? The amount of times that they just literally gave the ball to a Liverpool player while playing out of the back. It's like, are you okay? Why? What are you doing? It was so frustrating, especially because Villa had been playing so well. And oh my gosh, you got 4 games in a row. You won 4 games in a row. When I really need you to do something, here you go. But we knew we couldn't trust Unai Emery or Emi Martinez. So here we are. Now, I want to say, because I know people are probably going to, but we made them make the mistakes. I think you make your own luck. I think the pressure and all that kind of stuff makes players make bad decisions, make coaches make bad decisions. I do think that there was some fortuitousness about the 2 goals. One was a huge deflection and the other one was a pure giveaway from the goalkeeper. That being said, the pressure that was being put on by Liverpool probably fried their brains a little bit. And they made the mistakes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to That's Football. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. They're up to third. Are they back? Are Liverpool back after 3 big points? Well, look, the honest answer is, if they had the right sort of fixtures, you'd probably say that that's a very confidence-inducing result for Liverpool that they can build upon. Their issue is they're going into Real Madrid and Man City. So whether they're back or not, if you had a couple of easier games, you'd probably feel that you are building your way back, but they're going to have to be back for those 2 games. So very, very difficult. I think there's a few factors as to why Liverpool won tonight. And I certainly think that's, from what I've seen, that's one of their best performances of the season across 90 minutes. We've seen good half an hours and then we've seen bad half an hours. We've seen bad games. But I think that apart from the first 15 minutes where it was quite end-to-end, Liverpool did take control possessionally and Villa were very much a rearguard action. I think the reason for that, I think having Gravenberch back in the midfield, I think McAllister had one of his best games, having been a bit like Salah and Van Dijk, a bit of a poor start to the season. But Gravenberch is just such a massive player for Liverpool and takes them up to a level that they need to be. Szoboszlai is ridiculously consistent. I also think, and I've been saying this before, Andy Robertson at left back just solves a problem. Kerkez is a little bit like Wirtz. He's a player that's new to Liverpool that will probably be very good in the future, but is adjusting to life at Liverpool, and he's not putting in the performances that you would want. Whereas Andy Robertson knows the game, knows what's needed, and will put you in that 7 or 8 out of 10 that you need, that you can trust.
Arne Slot needs like it, isn't it, Liverpool fans? A huge victory against Aston Villa to stop the rot. And sometimes winning is what counts. But I actually think it was a game in which had very, very good individual performances. As a team, as a unit, defensively as well, you looked a lot more solid and stronger. So we'll analyse all of that. If you are a Liverpool fan and you want to see an Arsenal fan, a rival fan's opinions on your games, it's a place for you. Please do hit the like, hit the subscribe. It is all fair around here. And I think where we've got to start, to be honest, is the performance of Szoboszlai. I think this season, he's been one of the most consistent midfielders in the Premier League in Europe. But because Liverpool haven't been performing, it's kind of been ignored. I think against Brentford, he was absolutely superb, involved in the goal that Salah scored, a beautiful finish by him. I think, you know, across other games as well, Szoboszlai turned up. When Szoboszlai is really showing it, you know, he stops Liverpool from looking worse than they actually are. Even in the game they won against Frankfurt, he was one of the better players on the pitch, the engine of that midfield. He was getting forward, he was defending as well. He showed his quality through that strike too. I think he was much deserving of the man of the match sort of award today. And in that first half, and the commentary said it as well of the broadcast I was watching, they said that Szoboszlai was the one picking up the ball, taking up responsibility at 0-0. And it's easier to do that when it's 1-0 up or you're 2-0 up. But when it's 0-0, when everything's tense, can you have that responsibility? Can you take that onus to run the game? And I feel like Szoboszlai certainly is taking up that responsibility to run things for Liverpool. And we can talk about Wirtz, who I think has actually been a lot better than people talk about across his Liverpool career. But the way Szoboszlai takes responsibility and wants that ball, it's really, really impressive. And we saw Arne Slot return to what he knew in that midfield three, Gravenberch with Szoboszlai with McAllister. And I think McAllister looked like his best today. He looked really, really good. He looked like he was defending the right spaces. He was strong. Even on the ball, the areas he was picking up was really nice to see. He was spreading the play. He was showing the different types of things that he can do in the midfield. You know, he can contribute a lot to a midfield, and I feel as though this season we haven't seen the best of him. But against Aston Villa, they have a physical midfield. Onana in there with Kamara, then you've got Rodgers as well. It's a difficult midfield to be in, but I really think with McAllister, with Szoboszlai and his running, I mean, did you see Szoboszlai's run towards the end of the game where the ball ended up coming to him and